Hello, Plum Brandy fans. All, maybe a couple hundred of you. I don't even know. But I like it. So Slivovitz. I have done Slivovitz before. It was the Žuta Osha from Serbia, which I liked very much. I'll link that up somewhere below. But basically, what you're talking about is a tradition of plum brandy coming out of Europe, Eastern Europe, I should say. You have plenty of plum brandy coming out of France as well, the Via Prune. And I've done lots of reviews of those, but I figured it was time to sort of get back to Slivovitz because this is probably going to be more available in most places in the U.S. at least. They're also interesting because a lot of them are kosher for Passover. Now, I thought these were when I was going to taste them, and there are kosher versions of these, I know. But I am not entirely sure that all the stuff these two producers put out is kosher. So you may want to check on that. Like I know the Jelínek here has like it literally has a Star of David hanging off the top when it's the kosher version. So be on the lookout for that. And the Clear Creek one, I'm not entirely sure. They do make a kosher version, but I don't know whether this is it or not because it is a sample bottle very kindly given. So. As I intimated there, what we got is a Slivovitz head-to-head between Red Hood in Oregon, who's an American distillery kind of picking up on this tradition, and but they needed a sparring partner, so I chose Rudolf Jelínek, our Jelínek, Gold Slivovitz Plum Brandy 10-year-old. Which is very, very widely available. If you have a good liquor store nearby, or really anyone from Eastern Europe living close to you, you should be able to find this. And again, there is a kosher version out there. So what I got here? This is more of an eau de vie style. It's unaged, as you can kind of see. It is bottled at 40%, which I've been on Clear Creek Spot about that before. But it is what it is. And made from blue plums. This is the Clear Creek Blue Plum Brandy Slivovitz is the full title. This is, well, I just told you about it. This is not an eau de vie. This has been aged. So they're saying that it's triple distilled. I'm guessing triple pot distilled because there's actually still some character in this. I don't think this was on a triple column. And it was aged apparently in Limousin casks, which is kind of cool. In my area, this is around $35. This is actually more expensive. So if the Clear Creek is probably more, especially in the U.S., more of a renowned distillery, but this is cheaper and older. So if this is and more widely available, so if this is good, like that's awesome. I wanted to give the Clear Creek a little bit of a challenge here. All right, let's get started with these. I did air these out a little bit this morning, so they should be performing pretty well. All right, Clear Creek Blue Plum Brandy from Oregon. Here we go, on the nose. Oh, God. That is an absolutely gorgeous nose. Oh, man. That is just simple, direct plum gorgeousness. Yeah. Maybe I should tell you a little bit more about my hunt for this. So when I went to visit West Lakeview Liquors recently to pick up some things, one of the reasons I did that was because they had this on their website. They had it out of stock, but I've kind of been hoping, can they bring in more? Because I'm assuming the bigger retailers aren't going to be bringing in a Clear Creek Slivovitz. But they looked like they were, big brandy nerds, so I thought maybe they could. And what the owner, was a terrific lady, told me was they were trying to get more, and the distributor, who is Southern Glacier, God help us, didn't want to bring any more into the state of Illinois, even though customers were asking her to bring in more. So, I'm usually on Clear Creek about the strength. In this case, I'm going to be on them about distribution. For God's sake, not Southern. Please, not Southern. Anyone else. Winebow, terrific, good choice. BC Merchants in Illinois. I love them. That'd be a great choice. Breakthrough. Breakthrough's okay. I would deal with Breakthrough. Not Southern, for God's sake. So yeah, thank you for humoring my interlude there. Change distribution, please, as soon as it is practicable. All right, back to the nose of this. God, it's gorgeous. It's just so, it's plum on plum on plum. It's plum pie. But then you start pushing in the background, you start getting more floral notes and even kind of salty minerality. So there's a bit of seawater and some violets in here. Like a kind of a sand dust, like very fine sand on the nose. A little bit of like a deodorant thing, but nice. So like a little, maybe a little Old Spice fell in, but again, really nice. And there's a distinctive like rust kind of note, but again, nice. That like there's a rusty car somewhere in here, in the background. But mostly it's plum, 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 and I love it. This is a textbook perfect eau de vie nose. If the ideal of eau de vie is to translate the fruit into a spirit, this is doing it. If you like plums, you will like this. All right, on the palate. This is where I'm a little worried because of the 40% thing. Yeah, okay, so the presentation is hurting it. It's a little thin. The finish does kind of fall off and get a hair bit bitter. But again, the sense that you're drinking pear and kind of really, really drinking pear aromatics more than anything else. This is pretty perfect on that score. Would love to see an extra 3%, extra 5%, but I grade what I have in front of me. Lots of plums, violets, dried flowers, hand soap, like foaming hand soap, but nice, like the Trader Joe's stuff. That kind of little dash of like briny minerality again, almost like a vegetable bouillon kind of note, really. And it finishes a little bit bitter and a little bit tart on white pepper. Yeah, white pepper, sour pear, those kind of floral aromatics, which again get a little bit bitter, and even some toasted lime peel of all things. Really nice. I'm gonna have to mark down for the presentation, but I like this. This is, if you serve this to me, if I'm your guest on Passover, I am one of the goyim. So but if I happen to be visiting and you put this in front of me, I am very happy. What I'm going to do is give it maybe like 2 drops of water just to see if that helps it out. Because sometimes with things at 40%, if you give them literally like a drop or 2 of water, that will start to improve the mouthfeel and the finish. Not always. Sometimes it just kind of brings out bad things, or sometimes the spirit just falls apart. But a lot of the time, it will start to, hold the spirit better a little bit when you add just a little bit of water, just to kind of stir things up a little bit. Okay, moving on to the Rudolf Jelínek Gold Slivovitz 10-year-old. What more can I say about this? Made in Vizovice. I think that's how it's pronounced. I'm saying it like it's Italian. I have no idea. Original Czech spirit. It's from the Czech Republic. I don't know if I mentioned that before. Triple distilled in Limousin oak. They have a lot number on this actually. It is L160721B, which is very exciting. And bottled at 50% alcohol, which is the eye popper here. And this is the thing that could get the Clear Creek in trouble, even though this is probably more renowned as a distillery these days. All right, here we go. Let's see what the Czech Republic has got for us. Very different on the nose. So, how to explain this? So the oak is playing a role, but it's not like I'm getting overt oaky notes. These are tertiary notes produced by the kind of synthesis of oak and the plum. So I'm getting like more prunes than plums, and it's like prunes that have been stewed for a while in a mixture of dried flowers. Maybe some apples too, some like gala apples, some dessert apples. White pepper, oolong tea. There's a little hint of like pisco in this, like quebranta pisco. And then that dash of kind of briny minerality again. And, you know, like just throw up some rock dust on this too, but nice. Less exciting and seductive on the nose than the Clear Creek, but it's its own style. This feels, I mean, it could also just be the proof. The higher proof is cramping the aromatics a little bit, and when I add some water, it'll perk right up. Again, water. I know, you know, you don't necessarily, some of you watching this don't necessarily want to add water when you're drinking, and I support that. But in the context of reviewing and just seeing, you know, what the bottle you got in front of you and you spent your hard-earned money on is about, adding water just to see how it behaves can often be really educational. You don't necessarily want it to get, you know, watered down, so to speak, but adding water kind of kicks things up a little bit and tells you a little bit about what's going on. All right, on the palate of this, Jelínek 10-year-old. I thought this might have been a wipeout. The Clear Creek, despite the proof, would have just walked all over this, and I don't think it's going to be a wipeout. So the presentation is definitely helping this. It's much more full in the mouth. It's really dominating my entire mouth, actually. It's very powerful. So I'm getting... the oak is speaking up. There's like a nice grip on the back finish. It doesn't really come across as bourbony or even like really tannic, you know, Scotch or Irish whiskeys. This is kind of its own thing. It feels like, you know, a big Eastern European guy just gave you a bear hug. He doesn't want to hurt you. He just wants to show his affection in a very aggressive way. So what? Well, let me give you some actual notes aside from the sort of tannic, woody bear hug in the back end thing. Stewed prunes again, sea salt, sandstone dust, even a touch of like pear in there, more like pear brandy actually. Like it's that sort of pear meets like steel kind of thing, you know, metallic pear. Some more dried flowers, not as pronounced as on the Clear Creek, but they're there. And yeah, then you got that sort of grip from the wood on the back end. It's hard to describe. I can't think of something quite like this. It reminds me a little bit of cognac, but it's not cognac. It's like pink peppercorns meets overstewed Russian caravan tea meets a little bit of like pencil dust, and yeah, kind of floating all over that is that kind of aromatic plum note. So as an eau de vie, this is not as impressive as the Clear Creek. It's you know, it doesn't have the sort of purity of expression of the fruit. What this is a really good kind of workhorse brown spirit. You could build a cocktail library around this stuff. You could make this for the price. You could make this a daily drinker. I do like the nose on the Clear Creek better, but I think on the palate, the Jelínek is winning. It's winning it for me. So I'm gonna give a little bit more water to this too. Maybe like a squirt and a half, because it's only 50%. Let's see if that's good enough. Okay, so we got ourselves a ball game here. It's all going to come down to which kind of steps up with the water, or which kind of collapses. Because they could both go horribly wrong, right? This could drown, and this could easily become very kind of unpleasantly woody. So let's see what happens. Back to the Clear Creek for round 2. Now with 2 drops of water in it. On the nose. Oh, fun. It's not... It's an interesting development. I don't know if it's better, but... So it's a little more kind of dusty, like dry dusty, and there's a little bit of like green plantain coming out now. Like you just kind of, chopped a plantain in 2 and smelled the middle, that kind of thing. Yeah, this is just a nice nose. It's so delicate and pretty, and I love it. I could smell this stuff all day. Could you accuse this of being maybe not having a zillion different things going on and not having a huge range of complexity? Yeah, I don't care. I still like this. All right, on the palate, and this is going to be what does it. No, not really much development at all. It doesn't collapse, so we're good. But all I'm getting is the kind of minerality, that kind of sea salty, rocky note. That kind of steps forward a little bit. And there's a little bit more white pepper. Maybe it's a hair bit more composed on the finish. It's not kind of sort of diving into that bitter floral territory before. It's still got a grippy... the pepper is still there. It's still kind of, speaking loudly. But, yeah, the finish has improved a little bit. But, it's not a huge step forward from what it was before. So, but that being said, what it was before was a pretty darn perfect eau de vie. I like this a lot. Please, Clear Creek, switch distributors, not Southern, and find someone who will bring this into Illinois again. Okay, I'm going to give this 84 points out of 100. I think it's pretty darn good. Would be better without Southern. Would be better at 45% or something. But, pretty dang solid. Okay, let's see if the Jelínek steps up a little bit more than that with the water. Again, my problem with this is the aromatics were a little bit limited before. So let's see what happens. Still not quite up there with the Clear Creek, but the nose on the Jelínek does develop with water. It kind of gets this almost like sour plum thing, but it's not. There's more than that. Oh, dang, this is good too. Actually, know what this smells like? The the little like pickled plum things you can get in Japan. Oh, what are the name of them? It doesn't matter, but that's what this smells like. It's a little bit like pickled plum, but nice. Meanwhile, the yolk is coming out a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of that sort of floral Limousin oak thing that you get sometimes on cognacs. Okay, so if this holds steady on the palate, I think this might take it, because it's really stepped up in the nose. All right, here we go. On the palate with the Jelínek. This is legit. This is very, very good. So you got kind of more of a rock dust and honey note emerging against the background of the kind of the plums are the plums and prunes are still there, but it's more stemmy. I'm getting some stems on them. The back end gets even grippier, so the bear hug is getting, more intense, but I'm kind of enjoying it. So again, not a great eau de vie, not a pure expression of plum as such, but as a like a workhorse spirit to just have lying around for anything. This is terrific. I mean, bourbon pals, come on into the room. I know you're probably not watching this because it says Slivovitz up there or wherever the title is, but if you are, hunt this down. I mean, this is $35. You're talking what? Less. You've spent more money than this on absolute crap, right? I mean, this is not expensive. Real, 10 years old, big grippy back end, very special. Everyone actually, Brandy fans, I mean, like Armagnac, Cognac fans, come right in. This could be a daily drinker for you. Scotch folks, Scotch peeps, come right in. I think you'll be into this. This is awesome. This is terrific. I mean, again, and for $35, the QPR is off the charts. I mean, if you want a really good budget brown spirit that's oak driven but has the distillate kind of weaving itself in there and having it say, I mean, go buy a bottle of this. And okay, I'm going to give this 85 points. 85 points out of 100. And it wins against the Clear Creek, which, one would not expect, right? I still like this. And even in some sense, I even admire this guy, the Clear Creek, a little bit more because it's nerdier. It's it's more of a niche product. It feels like something special while you're drinking it. Again, this feels like something I could slosh back every day, but that's rewarding in its own special way. So, yeah, technically the Jelínek from the Czech Republic takes it today, but if you see this, give it your consideration because this is lovely stuff, and will be lovelier still whenever Clear Creek decides to dump Southern and up their strengths a little bit. So yeah, that kind of closes this out. 84 points for the Clear Creek, 85 points for the Jelínek, which really opens up on the nose and even improves on the palate a little bit with the addition of water. I'm drinking this stuff. This is great. Okay, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. And cheers. Happy Passover. Look for the kosher versions of these if you can find them. Thanks again. Bye.